Hello everybody and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Madeline. Her Hall of Heroes is out right now, so you guys can pick her up completely for free, guaranteed, 100%, as long as you can beat at least the first 2 floors, which shouldn't be that hard. But I figured why not take a look at her skills and use her in a couple places. I've got her built. She's not fully skilled up, I'm going to tell you that straight off the bat. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at her skills, go through the monster info, see what people have to say about her. I don't know why I keep going through the monster info, because people disappoint the hell out of me. At least the reviews. The people who are leaving reviews on her, gosh. But not on her specifically, but on any monster. We're going to take a look at the usage, so let's see where people are using her. Look at her rune statistics, her artifact statistics, and then I'll show you how I've built her, and then we'll use her a little bit and have a little bit of fun. So with that being said, let's get straight into her skills. First thing to note is that she does have a leader skill that increases the defense of ally monsters with the light attribute by 40%. So it's like semi-universal. You could use it anywhere you go as long as the allies on the team are light. Skill 1 is Power Swing. It attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn with a 30% chance. After an abysmal amount of skill ups, I got 7 skill ups, you can increase the harmful effect rate and the damage. Which, if you're going to skill up, you can. It's going to be helpful. Stuns are always nice, but you're not going to need to skill her up if that's all you're worried about. But her skill 2, Beneficial Hammering, increases the attack power and defense of all allies for 2 turns. It also increases the attack power and defense for 3 turns and creates a shield that absorbs damage for 3 turns on all allies if Great is activated with a 30% chance. The shield amount is proportionate to your level, and it's reusable every 3 turns when fully skilled up. So one, obviously you are going to want to get her skilled up. That's how you're going to get the most efficiency out of her. But that is a really good skill too. I mean, attack and defense buff for 2 turns, and if you do get the Great, which I'll talk about that in a second, you also get a shield and the buffs last longer. Always good. So what it means by Great here, if you've never used one of the rune blacksmiths, when they use the skill, it's going to look like they're they're forging like a weapon, like they're crafting a weapon, like they're slamming their hammer on a God, I can't remember what it is. An anvil. And there's a chance, like it's like a lottery almost. It's a random dice roll, and if you land that dice roll, you get the 30%. You then get that shield. But again, you will want these skill ups. That's how you make them most efficient. But we're gonna test her today without those skill ups just to see how good she really is. And then her last skill, Overhaul, which this is going to be the big part of her, because I think almost every single one of them share this skill too, except for her and her. But the fire, wind, and light one all share the same skill too. But skill 3, Overhaul, reduces all allies' skill cooldown times by 1 turn and increases the duration of granted beneficial effects by 1 turn each. Additionally, decreases the skill cooldown time of all allies by 1 turn each, and increases the duration of granted beneficial effects by 1 turn if Great is activated with a 30% chance every 5 turns when fully skilled up. So, let's walk through this skill. So this third skill, it's so confusing to look at, but essentially, if you just use this skill normally and you don't get that extra, you don't proc the Great status or whatever it is, all allies' skills are reduced by 1 turn. And I wonder if that works on her, because it doesn't say like it excludes herself. But all allies get their skills 1 turn faster, and their attack and defense buffs or shields that are on them that you can give them are increased by 1 turn. So your buffs last longer. And if she does get that Great, you're essentially reducing the cooldown time of all allies' skills by 2 turns, and then increasing the duration of their beneficial effects for 2 turns. So this is actually a really good skill. She's definitely like the support unit. And there are a lot of ways that you can actually abuse this. Like, I would pick up Madeline just for that 3rd skill, and I want to see just how effective this 3rd skill is, even without the skill ups. But if it can get even semi-close to being good without skill ups, I can only imagine how good it would be with skill ups. But you can, I mean, think about like revives in combat and PvP, or think about big damage dealing skills like if you have like Crow. If you bring Crow and then you have Madeline as well, it's like she can get that scar back up quicker. I'm just saying, think of the potential, right? Of just any skill that you find to be OP. If you can get it up much quicker, especially if you can get it, reduce this cooldown time of it by 2 turns, that's really great. And that it's not just a single skill, it's every single one of their skills. But that's what I really want to test on her, is just like the potential of that decreasing of skills, right? On all allies. But let's take a look at the monster info. I'm so tired of politics. Okay, so we have the first review. Joe Biden is a minor, attracted old man who showered with his 11-year-old daughter. If you support him, you must also be a sick pedo. Cool. Do I also build her with speed, HP, defense? It's like, thank you. Why are we bringing politics? I'm so tired of this, man. I'm so tired. A Vanderbilt. Go to Reddit. Go to Reddit, please. Anyways, speed. Why does that look weird? Am I tripping? 39 speed. Oh, that's a 5-star. Yeah, F off. Instead of, taking 20 minutes to talk about Biden being a pedophile, which I guess, yeah, he is. But, maybe go farm some speed runes. Anyways, speed, HP. Yeah. Okay. I guess if you're gonna keep blue runes, at least roll out the crit damage percent. Everything else is good. Get this to plus 15. This needs to be changed out for a slot 6. But if the substats were around the same, I would have taken out the crit rate. But it seems like you replaced the crit rate with something else. You're really desperate for runes. This one is good. Again, ignoring the rune quality, like the fact that it's a rare. The substats are good. Those are the substats you want. HP percent or defense percent on slots 4 and 6. Roll out the crit damage, then you're good. Here, roll out the crit rate. And then here you roll out the crit damage. Because you could still have accuracy for skill 1. So you're on energy, will, focus, which is cool. And you have her almost skilled up. And your artifacts, skill 1 accuracy, that's good. Skill 3 recovery means nothing. Additional damage by speed, cool. Bomb damage means nothing. Additional damage by HP, cool. Damage taken from dark, cool. Speed up effect, Damage taken from wind, meh. So, with her artifacts you can be a little bit more lax with it. I can already tell you, like for me, I'm thinking of skill 1 accuracy or attack and defense up effect. Other than that, reduce damage taken from just anything at all. Okay, well, I've looked through pretty much all of them, except for this one. Okay, maybe. No, I've looked through this one, a Vanderbilt. I meant to click on you. Okay. Blue. Okay. Fast. Kind of tanky. Lots of resistance. Kind of accurate. This is a good artifact. And switch out the slot, the skill 1 crit damage for accuracy, and that would be a perfect rune or artifact for her. I'm done looking through these. People want to piss me off so bad. World Guild Battle, yeah, I mean PvP. She's gonna be used in PvP, obviously. Great support potential with the skill 3. And I imagine all the beasts. Yeah, all the beasts she'd be good in. She's, in a way, technically speaking, she can be used everywhere. Because of that, I mean, not only just because of skill 2. To be able to apply attack buff, defense buff, and shields. And on top of that, reducing the cooldown times from anywhere from 1 to 2 turns, as well as elongating beneficial effects. I mean, it's really good. It's really, really good. But let's just go. I can see it. If your Deborah's faster than your Madeline, that'd be better. I hope like your Deborah's faster. Like Deborah goes first, skill 2, and then yeah, she skills 2, she skill 2, and then everyone else attacks. Cool. Rift Raid, yeah, she could definitely be used in Rift Raid. But let's look at the statistics. I didn't mention her Rune build earlier. I would definitely throw her on some Violent. Even with full skill ups, that last skill I believe is every 5 turns. Which, I wonder if that skill 3 affects her. That's what we need to test this video. We need to guarantee to test that. So we're going to go into the arena thing the second we get a chance to test that. But God, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. God dang it. But she's really good. Oh yeah, it's Runes. Violent, to see if she could Violent proc her way through her skill cooldown times. Other than that, I would build her on support runes, like maybe I would probably either go Violent Will or Violent Energy, whatever. Violent is the very first thing. If you can get Will on her, cool. If you can't, whatever. It depends on what you're going to use her for. But if you're not going to use her for PvP, you could kind of go like who knows, heck, triple fight, triple energy, or not triple energy, triple determination, whatever, anything to boost your ally stats, because it's like it would help better with places like Rift Raid and the beasts and all that, to help your allies tank more or deal more damage. But statistics: Violent Will, Swift Will, Violent Shield, Violent Energy. Yeah, that is how you should build her. Slot 2, speed. Slot 4, either HP or defense, and then slot 6, HP or defense. Her artifacts, like I mentioned earlier, skill 1 accuracy, additional damage from speed, and then damage taken should be reduced. Correct. And then sub-property type, skill 1 accuracy should be dominating. Additional damage to defense or speed, correct, because she should be tanky and she should be fast. Speed up effect, whatever. Crit damage taken, cool. And then everything's pretty much the way I imagined it. So let's take a look at mine. So like I mentioned, mine is not skilled up, but we're not going to be able to... I mean, not at the moment. We will make a video again in the future with her. But I just want to see just how good this skill 3 could be. How efficient it could be. And then, again, one day we'll get her skilled up. What was it? I have another one built. My bad. And I still use her. And it's like, I barely got her skilled up. So, whatever. But let's take a look at her stats, if I could find her. So here are her stats. She has 100 bonus speed. That's what I could throw on her for right now. I put her on Violent. So it's like she's on Swift. If she was on Swift, I'm sure I could have got more speed out of her. But 100 bonus speed, 866 bonus defense, 21,000 bonus HP. Pretty decent. Resistance 47% and accuracy 28%. This is what like her substats should look like: speed, HP, or resistance, or defense. Accuracy is optional because you're not... I mean, I don't care if her skill 1 lands. Skill or slot 2. I figured, hey, why not? I mean, I have the attack percent there. Let's grind it up. Slot 3. Slot 4, defense percent. With, again, the substats are looking perfect. Substats looking perfect here. Everything looks perfect. I mean, dang near perfect. I mean, again, you could have taken... If I could have gotten the attacks out of here, like the attack percentages and flat attacks, that would have been better, but heck, this is as good as it's going to get for me. The artifacts. So I brought attack and defense up effects plus 18%. Just so she gets more... At least she's getting more defense out of it. Crit damage taken. Counterattack means nothing. The crit damage is enemies less max HP means nothing. I didn't care about really trying to roll them. Plus, I don't have a lot of the things to roll them with. Like, look at that, I have 12. But, so this one, crit damage taken minus 2%, skill 1 accuracy plus 14%, and then the other two don't mean nothing to me. So, let's go into Arena real quick to kind of go over her skills, so I can explain them to people who might be having a little bit of trouble. Okay, so here we are in the testing area. I have this guy here, Shakan. I'm making him for a future video, so don't matter about his runs. So we're going to take a look at just all of her skills, and I want to explain them a little bit better, because I saw one of the comments in the monster usage or whatever was like, what is great? So her skill 2, and even her skill 3 mentions if great is activated with 30% chance, right? It says that right there. So we're going to put this 1 speed. Every time you use one of these skills, she does this. There's a chance, boom, great happens, and you get a shield with it for most of these units. You'll also get the buffs for a much longer turn. So there's that, right? We're going to do this. So my Tyron is not skilled up, right? So we're going to use his skill 3, glancing. I want to see, first of all, this should be set for 6 turns. So by the time her next turn comes, what is it? Should be like 5 or whatever, 6 turns until she gets it up again. So yeah, it should be 5 turns by the time she takes her next turn. It should be on a cooldown of like 5 or whatever, right? If she uses this, I wonder if we're going to see this at like 4 or 3, right? But we're also going to see if she gets a great on it. So let's see. Boom. So she doesn't. But so this was supposed to be on 4, now it's on 3. Her should be on 5. Okay, so it doesn't affect her. Okay. That's kind of a bummer, but it be what it be. So, as you guys saw earlier, there was the great. But again, every time you use it, there's a chance she doesn't get a great or whatever. So, you'll see if you get great, obviously, if you get a shield, but it'll also be in big old words on the screen. So, it's nice though. That's really helpful, because it could be useful for places like Trial of Ascension in case you're having trouble. Because it's like, sometimes in Trial of Ascension, it's not about having better runes. It's just about getting the skills out more. So she's gonna get great again because it's showing the crit chance screen or whatever. You know this little animation screen? That's how you know you're critting or you're getting the greats or whatever. So there we go. So now we can actually go and use her in a couple places. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem with all my beasts, including Rift Raid. Whenever I'm fighting the beast, especially in the groggy state, right as I'm about to exit the groggy state or phase 2, whatever you want to call it, Ironguard will use his buff. And between the end of the groggy state and by the time the next phase happens, the vampire effect that he places and the attack buff that he places is left on 1 turn for everybody. So everyone's about to lose it again. Meaning that for that last phase, which it's most important to have all those buffs on you for that last phase, because that's when you take the most damage and you're having to deal the most damage, right? It's harder to deal damage because the boss has higher stats. They don't have it. They're not going to have it for a good part of the fight, which means it takes longer for us and it makes it less safe for us, right? The point I'm trying to make is that with Madeline, she could technically be a fix to that, because again, for those of you who don't know, the boss has 3 phases, right? It has the first phase, which it'll attack you or whatever, and when you beat that phase, the boss will fall down and essentially become groggy. It'll fall into the groggy state, which then you'll be able to debuff it and all that stuff, and you'll fill up an attack bar or whatever. You'll fill up in a bar as you attack it. But by the time we get to the end of that, Ironguard just ends up using more than half the time, ends up using his skill 3, which is this right here, attack buff and then vampire effect. We don't need it then. We need it at the beginning of the 3rd phase, right? So it's just like you're using it way too early or you're using it way too late. But technically, Madeline should be a fix to this. Again, with that 3rd skill, where not only does she decrease the cooldown times of skills, she increases the time of beneficial effects. So this attack and the attack buff and vampire effect that he's placing for 3 turns should technically go from anywhere from 4 turns to 5 turns, depending if she gets a great, which means we have it for longer. But on top of that, his skill 3, which is on a 4-turn cooldown, goes from 4 turns to potentially 2 to 3 turns, depending if we get a great. So we should have this third skill up, the buffing skill up, far more, and the buff should last far longer, right? So hopefully we'll try like 1 or 2 runs to see what it's like with and without her. So let's try this run right here. But I think she'd be great for all the beasts, especially even if it's just that third skill and it's, you know, there to increase the duration of beneficial effects. So let's see. Boom. So now you see the backline units like Crow and the twins had it for 4 turns. Now it's 3 turns. Boom. Okay, so we get a buff as well. And on top of that, you gotta imagine this. Units like Crow, he was gonna use his third skill anyways. He uses his third skill and it goes on cooldown. Or you get units like Taor, who has this skill 1 or skill 2 or this skill 3 that are on cooldown. Or even like the twins, which my twins, most of them are not skilled up all the way. It's like this is reusable in 5 turns. When she's using that third skill, this is coming out more. So even the stronger damage dealing skills on all of our allies are coming more quickly. So it's not just about beneficial effects and them being on us for longer. You're talking about our damage dealing skills are coming back quicker. So that's what I really like about Madeline, right? Is that we're just getting all these skills super quickly, super fast. Ooh, we're gonna get hit pretty hard. That's fine. We should be able to tank. Even if our guard is dead, guess what she's gonna do? Skill 3. Exactly. Boom. Oh, she just violent procced. So we got a shield. That shield held up pretty well. So I'm gonna do one more run with her just to see again how it works. But yeah, so it has more potential than you would think at a first glance. I mean, again, beneficial effects last longer. The skills that give you those beneficial effects come back quicker. Damage dealing skills like Taor's skill 3, Crush, or Triple Strike, or Deadly Dance, or Crow's Scar come back quicker. So it's like we're just dealing more damage overall. Which I really like. I really, really do like it. Oof. Dang. God dang. She's just taking turns with the violent runes. I like violent on her. For sure, for sure. I like violent. So we got Scar. We got one more Scar in, which is nice. So I think like even that alone shows you just how great the potential is with her. And we're gonna eat those. And even if we lose Aurigar, she technically buffs. Boom. And throwing her on Violent, I think it's like she doesn't even have skill ups right now. And she's performing well. Imagine if she did have the skill ups. That on top of Violent proccing like she is, she's not doing bad. So, how about, let's take her to the Wind Beast real quick. I want to see something. Okay, so this is just a random team I'm throwing for the Wind Beast. But there are a couple things that I want to, again, talk about. Again, and this is going to revolve around a third skill. Because her second skill, you get them on a lot of the Rune Blacksmith. You don't need Madeline for that second skill. I mean, it's really helpful, but again, you can just use any of the other blacksmiths. I'm trying to really revolve this around her third skill. Again, increasing beneficial effects, the duration of them, and then decreasing cooldowns. So you get units like the Wind Rakaja, or the Wind Yeti, the Rakaja, where he has this HP recovering thing every 3 turns. She potentially cuts this down to 1 to 2 turns. So he can have this up more often. Same thing with Bella Dion's third skill, where this is up every 4 turns. This could be down to every 2 to 3 turns. Which in the Wind Beast, when you first start playing this game, that's probably the area that you're going to have the hardest time with, is the Wind Beast, because you don't deal enough damage to just be able to build teams that nuke. And you probably don't have tons of healers built, so it's just like you're trying to find a good mix of damage dealers, so you don't sit in the boss, in this fight forever. Because the more you sit here, the worse the shock gets, and the more you have to heal. It's just, you don't want to sit here for long. So you can't build a team full of healers, because then it becomes harder to heal off all the damage. But you also don't want to have nothing but damage dealers, because then you aren't getting the shock off. I'm thinking that maybe with Madeline, again, you can get damage out more often, you get the vampire effect for longer, yada yada. But even for like healers like Rakaja or Bella Dion, that heal comes more quickly, and you're not having to worry about shock as often. So again, even for the Wind Beast, I kind of want to see how she helps with the healing factors and all that stuff. So we get Lightning Roar. We should heal this straight off pretty much. Boom. And then we buff ourselves. But yeah. But it tends to be, I should have probably taken out Astar. I know in the other video I was calling her Juno. Probably should have taken out Astar. Just so we're not just dealing tons of damage all the time. But she could help with getting the healing skills up. That's just the main point of all of this, is just to show off how efficient that skill 3 can be and how big of a deal it could be. Because boom, like look, we have that up. And then she decreases the cooldown time of it. So, did we get great on that, by the way? So, hold up, he's going to buff. I'm just going to manual it. This is now down to 1 turn. So, which is skill 2. Aster obviously has this up. He has it up all the way again. He has it up again. So it's like, you're good. This team is like 100% consistent. Madeline is good. She is kind of that like, oh my gosh. So Madeline, what do I think of Madeline? Obviously, honestly, Madeline is a pickup. Pick this unit up. Even if you don't use her for Giant Skip Abyss, which I'll admit that last part, I don't think it's a stretch. I mean, she can definitely do a whole lot of good. I mean, decreasing the cooldown times is really big. And the attack buffs and the shields and all that, big deal. It's like, even if you just pick her up for the Rift Beasts and Rift Raid, and heck, again, you can still use her in guild content. We didn't even show her in any guild content. It's like, she's a really good unit. That skill 3 is very powerful. To have the ability to decrease all ally the cooldowns of all ally skills by 1 turn, or even up to 2 turns, and then increase the duration of beneficial effects. That is really big. You think of a lot of the units that we have just gotten in all the previous Hall Heroes. You think of like even units like where's she at? Akasha, where with the immunity or the invincible on her skill 3. Imagine if you get Madeline, who uses this next. That invincibility lasts longer. Revives are happening much more often because she's reducing skill cooldown times. I mean, the potential is about as limited as your knowledge, right? Depending on what you use her and what teams you throw her on. But she has the potential to do a lot of amazing things. And I think Violent is going to be the best set on her, but you could really throw her on anything depending on where you're using her. If you're going to use her only in PvE and you're not going to plan to bring her in PvP, which I'd say if you're going to do that, just build 2 of her. Like, you can farm 4 stages and get 100 pieces, hence building 2 of her. You can build 1 for PvP and then build 1 for PvE, and the 1 for PvE could be on Swift and Swift Fight, or you could be on Triple Fight and then just grind out the Swift or whatever. Whatever build you decide to go with, it could work, right? But I think she's a really amazing unit, especially if we can get her fully skilled up. If we get her fully skilled up, I'll make another video on her. But at least these 2 skills, so 4 skill ups, right? 3 skill ups, my bad. But I'm I'm gonna give her I'm gonna give her a 9 out of 10. I mean, it's a pretty high score, but for what she can do and the potential, I mean, she was already doing good in this video, and she's not skilled up, and you want her skilled up. All right, so I think she has a lot of potential. Maybe my rating is too far. Maybe I'm doing too much, but I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think about this unit? Do you think that she is a really good unit? Do you think that I'm over-exaggerating her usefulness? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, comment, subscribe. We're at 993 subs. Subscribe. Let's get to 1K. See you guys in the next one. Peace.